You're listening to Rodney Rogers Outdoors Radio, where we turn it upside down and look at the outside from the inside out. It's safe, it's legal, and we're having a blast. So put your shoes on, my friend, because we're going outdoors.
Welcome to Rodney Rogers Outdoors. I am Rodney Rogers. That right there is my partner, Coach Ethan Crime.
Seems vaguely familiar in here.
Mike the man himself, Coy.
Deja vu.
You recognize this spot?
Deja vu. Did you know
no.
that there's an opposite of deja vu?
Oh, what would that be?
Jamais vu.
What's jamais vu mean?
It's actually being somewhere, but you don't remember it. It's like something vaguely that you've been there before, but you don't remember it. Rather than it feels like this is
like I feel.
Yeah, it feels like this has happened before.
Yeah,
it's like you're somewhere that seems familiar, but you don't remember it.
Here's one for you. Do you know
Jamais vu.
Why deja vu happens?
No,
it's your brain resetting. So what you just did, you have done it because your brain actually jumps back and plays that very moment over again so instantaneously it feels like you've already done it. So it's your brain basically going, wait a minute,
really?
Blink, and it resets itself.
Really?
Yep.
Did you know
that
cat urine glows under a black light?
And if you want to reach us tonight, 262-345-7763. Chalk one up to you. You just schooled me. You can shoot us hashtag RROR right to Mike's face, and he will answer that question, even if it's about cat urine. And he'll get that right in his face, and we'll answer that question right on the show. Don't be mad if we use your name, even if it's a dumb question. There's no such thing as a dumb question, by the way. This is our 1 hour vacation. We didn't get to have it last week. So Mike was under the weather, and he just had the surgery, man. How's your arm doing, brother?
I'm good. 2 weeks. 2 weeks tomorrow.
2 weeks tomorrow, okay.
Yeah, and my bad for last week because the surgery and literally the day afterwards, Kim and I both got really sick with the cold going around. And
Which we were going to do it anyway. Yeah. And it seems like every time we try to muster through.
We've tried that before.
I've gotten us sick a couple times. Yeah. So I said, we'll just skip this.
In the best interest of health.
Of us hacking and coughing.
So that one's on me, Rodney. But we're back.
So here we are back. We got a lot of things to talk about. We got a lot of catching up to do. We got gorillas that have been downed. We've got alligators walking across golf courses. We just got all kind of good stuff.
Yeah, we got all kinds of top stories. I don't know if we talk. If you want to talk about the closures, openings.
Yes, do that. Yeah, can we do that real quick? Yeah. Absolutely.
Heads up for anglers. Tagged cobia. Have you heard this?
Oh no! Mike, you got me on one.
Be aware. They say be aware, but I think it's more of a heads up. They're tagging cobia in Florida waters.
Okay.
Cobia tagging project is underway under Florida's East Coast to track the movement and learn more about their migration. They're using conventional dart tags and implanted acoustic transmitters to track mature fish. Yeah. Okay. There's an array of acoustic receivers along the coast that can detect the fish as they swim by. So they're targeting them, picking them up, and kind of tracking them that way.
Okay.
And they're doing this to make informed decisions on the stocks and to provide a geographical location of the boundaries of how these things are migrating, basically.
Yeah.
A total of 150 transmitters, 50 in Florida, 50 in Georgia, 50 in South Carolina. They're going to be used for a 1-year study. However, the transmitters are probably going to last about 4 years, they say, before they die.
Really?
But why do we care? They're saying cobia is popular because of its ease of access, its fighting strength, and its excellent culinary qualities. I think that means it tastes good.
Excellent.
Okay. But if you catch a cobia
that is tagged,
there's going to be 2 plastic tags that should be visible on the back of the fish, one on each side. The FWC would like for you to record this information, the tag number, the fork length, the date, and the general location of the catch. And please release the fish back in good condition and report it by calling 888-824-7472.
Will they give us a cobia to replace that cobia?
I don't think it works that way, Mr.
Okay,
Rodney.
I'm just checking. Cobia is excellent culinary.
That's what I hear.
Just want to say.
Yeah, that's what I hear.
I got a feeling that a lot of these transmitters are going to end up in the toilet.
But if you accidentally harvest a tagged cobia,
Accidentally.
report all of the information above
Yes.
that we just mentioned, and return both the internal acoustic tag and the plastic dart to
that same right there.
the address they're up on your screen right now. So write that down, screenshot or whatever. But they do want the tag back, Rodney.
Yeah. Okay.
So,
We'll go that far.
okay.
We'll go that far. Because I assure you, if I catch this said exceptional culinary fishy,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay. What's our close?
Here's some closures. Recreational harvest of amberjack, greater amberjack, and gray triggerfish in the Gulf of Mexico waters
Okay.
closes June 1st, and will remain closed through July 31st. Reopening August 1st. And federal waters. Now, again, differentiating between state and federal waters,
Yes.
which is actually 9 miles
Yep.
off the coast.
On the Gulf Coast only.
On the Gulf Coast only.
Yeah.
And what is it on the East
3.
Coast? 3 on the East
Yeah.
Coast. So that just
that's important.
Keep that in mind. Federal waters will be closed June 1st through July 31st.
Okay.
I got one more for you, Rodney.
Lay it on us.
One more here. Gag
Oh,
season
you mean- I
starts
thought you meant-
June 1st.
Actually, gag.
And new size limits effective the same day. Let me see if I can break this down easily. Gag grouper will open most state and federal Gulf of Mexico waters June 1st.
Okay.
Black grouper and gag minimum size limits will increase from 22 inches to 24 inches
Wow.
in Gulf state waters starting June 1st to match the recent Gulf changes in federal waters. So they matched them so they're the same.
Yeah.
A lot of confusion. They're probably busting people for that fine minor, so they've
yeah.
changed a lot of these things to be the same.
Yeah.
Season will be June 1st through December 31st. Now they've expanded
yeah.
a month on each end.
Exactly.
Starts a month earlier, goes a month later to give a little more opportunity.
Ooh, and they are hot right now.
Federal waters, Gulf waters again, 9 miles off the coast. Federal waters begin where state waters end and extend to 200 nautical miles.
I'll tell you what, if you want to do grouper fishing, try our friends at Tenacity Guide Service on South. It's like it's south of Sarasota, and they go out and they slam them. I watch Bo and Deidre. You remember Bo and Deidre?
Yeah.
They have a guide service. Obviously, they do sharks and tarpon and and all that stuff around the Boca Grande area. And they are killing the grouper right now. They are just slamming them. So I actually sent Bo a message saying that I'm going to be booking a trip with him toward the end of the summer.
Really?
Absolutely. We're going to try to do it during the week. So I haven't even told you yet. Mike, we're booking a trip.
Whoop, whoop.
Whoop, whoop. Between shoulder surgeries.
Call me the night before.
Between shoulder surgeries. How do you say it?
Shoulder surgeries.
So, news that we've skipped.
Yeah, we've skipped and we don't want to totally avoid it.
Yeah, we've got this giant. I got tagged 87,221 times on this giant alligator. So, for those of you that tagged me and text me and said, "Hey, Rodney, is this real? I mean, what's going on with this thing? What is it?" This is a giant alligator. Now, speculations are this thing is 15 to 16 feet long. I'm going to go ahead and numb your butt right now. It's not 15 to 16 feet long. It is a huge alligator. When I say huge, I mean it's 13 plus, but I would subject to say that it's not 15 to 16 feet long. It is a giant. If you've never seen a 13-foot alligator out of water and you don't put a measuring tape on it, they look 15, 16 feet long. They are giant.
I think that's part of the illusion, right?
Yeah, that's exactly right. When you see this thing walking, I am dying to see this alligator. I hope that it, like Savannah, she did a thing on the show the other day on Real Radio. I hope they don't kill this thing. I hope it doesn't become a nuisance.
I think it's been there for years.
Has it?
I actually dug into the what they call the internet thing.
The intranet?
Dug into it a little bit, yeah. And this thing's been there for a while. I guess they've got 3 or 4.
What course is it on? I mean, I
Buffalo Creek
Buffalo Creek.
in Palmetto, Florida.
Really?
Yeah. Matter of fact, Rodney,
hit me with it. Something tells me.
Chat for a minute. I'll pull this up here.
So yeah, I would love to get some pictures of this thing, and I would love. Obviously, they probably got news crews down there now. It's never got this much publicity.
I've got their. If you look on the screen here, I've got their website up.
Oh, look at that!
And they're obviously. I mean, they're all. Number one, when the post was originally put on YouTube, it came up onto the Golf Channel. Posted it.
Oh, really?
And when you clicked on the link, it took you to the Golf Channel's website, selling clubs. This is strictly a promotional. And if the Golf Channel's got money, that they could put on a. They could make a gator, 15-pound gator. But anyways,
so most people were thinking.
So look at this weekend specials.
No way.
They're capitalizing number one here on the gator thing here.
Yeah. Totally.
And now they're actually having a Name That Gator contest.
No way.
Which is interesting, though, because I was listening to something the other day and heard a phone call. Somebody was trying to
call it. Oh, they call it alligator or something.
Well, no,
right?
well, they called the place to talk to the guy, and they got a hold of somebody and said the name of that it had a name of a gator.
Oh, okay.
That they've named it for years. There's three really big ones on the course.
Right.
So he was saying, no, this is legit. It's a real gator. And people have been breaking down the footage and looking at it, making sure there's no. And it looks, it looks
totally
quite
legit.
sincere. Of course, my first thing it seemed to walk very mechanical, but there's a name for this. They call it the high walk.
Oh yeah, okay.
Because I guess I'm used to them scooting on their bellies, just kind of doing the back and forth.
But when they stand up and walk away, I've seen that many, many times.
I guess that's for a longer distance. Yeah. That's how they get up. And but yeah, on their website, if you
is that the same one?
Well, it's a link to the.
Oh, okay.
It's a link to the video here. Okay. They got the video playing here, and I'll run this, and we'll run this from their website here, just you can see it here. We'll play this one here. I think I can make it full screen, maybe.
Pow! There it is.
So.
Yeah, it is absolutely real, and it is a giant, man.
Kind of the rule of thumb on every water surface anywhere out on the golf course or anywhere in Florida. Chances are there's going to be an alligator in it. He's part of the ecological system. People are smart enough to leave it alone. I mean, it is, and it's every bit of 15 feet long.
But does he have a name?
No, but we're thinking about doing a contest.
Okay.
See, I actually think that guy was quick on his feet, and he thought, "Oh, wait a minute, no, wait, that's a perfect opportunity for a contest."
Yeah, let's do a contest. So yeah, it is a giant alligator. I'm dying to put a tape measure on this thing. I mean, it's huge, it's huge. So I'm absolutely dying to see how big it really is. A 13-foot or 14-foot, I would guess between 13 and 14 foot. If I go on record and saying that, eventually somebody's going to measure this thing because it is a hoss. Better known as a hoss.
Yeah, I think it was just the perception of it not having anything around it.
Exactly. It's a 1,000-pound.
The one thing that I teetered on when I looked at it really close is the shadow of the alligator versus the shadow of the guy taking the photo. I mean, it was late in the day, and his shadow was really long. But again, there's too many other variables in it.
Hills, climbs, elevations.
Yeah, exactly, to really tell. But
yeah.
I said we'll wait till Tuesday night, and Rodney can give us his. But it's interesting this the real or fake thing.
Yeah, exactly. I got tons because you never know. Internet.
Yeah.
Come on. You get fake stuff all the time. It is a giant alligator. If 13 to 15 feet at that point, I think anything after 9 feet is a giant alligator.
Yeah.
If you ask me.
Yeah.
So yeah, that is definitely a Mac Daddy. And then our next topic for the night. Mike, did you see the gorilla video?
No, are we becoming the outdoor gossip?
Sure.
Once in a while, that's cool, though, right?
Well, you know what it is? I like to mention the things because when these things go down, everybody wants my opinion. It's like I get it bombarded with tags. They tag me on it, which, I try to comment on every time it's been tagged. I've been tagged on it. And it's just like, I want to give you my opinion.
Yeah.
Now, as far as I haven't verbally, openly given my opinion on the gorilla. What's his name? Humbart?
Is that what it is?
Harbor?
Yeah, maybe.
Harabar? I don't even know how to say it.
I hadn't seen
Humbug.
I actually hadn't seen, believe it or not, hadn't seen the video until last night.
Oh, okay. So you saw it last
Ken and
night.
I figured we'd be talking about it, and so we pulled it up. And
What'd you think?
there's been children fallen into zoos and
Right.
gorilla pits even before. And so you're like, okay, wow, that's serious because he's hovering underneath the gorilla. But when the gorilla grabbed him and took off, it lit
Like
up.
nothing,
It was like,
man.
no, this is real now.
Yeah.
He ragdolled him.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that was bizarre.
When he took off the first time, and I thought this kid would be unconscious up under the water. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
That it would knock him out because he grabbed him like you said, like a rag doll,
Yeah.
and ran with him. So I thought this kid would probably go down at that point, and he didn't. Then he stood up again, and then he took off again. Oh, you playing the video now?
Yeah.
You got it up and running?
Yeah.
Okay, so if you've not seen the video, or if you're squeamish, now is not the time
To look away.
spoiler, look away. So you see him now. Does he have the kid right here? No, he don't.
Kid's behind him
Oh, the kid's behind him
in the corner. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I see him. Okay. Oh wow, I've not seen this version.
Yeah, kid's behind him in
There
the
he
corner.
goes.
Here he
So
goes.
look at him. He runs with him. Look at this. Stops right here.
That is
He's got him by the foot,
crazy.
and he's looking at everybody. And I mean, that is just massive. Is the kid crying at this point? I
You
don't.
could hear him cry a little bit. I mean, he wasn't bawling, but you
Right.
could hear him cry a little bit.
And then you got the mother just saying, I'm here, from what I can tell. She's like, I'm just...
Yeah, and at one point you hear him say, "Oh, there's a zoo worker over there. Grab him." I mean, this is just patrons,
Yeah.
up to about this point before and here he stands him up,
This is
tucks in his shirt,
absolutely-
which is weird.
Yeah, and then poof, there he goes
There
again.
he goes again.
So,
And he kind of disappears around the corner.
yeah.
You see him down, but I guess
so much can go wrong here.
I mean, he was down there for this was 10 minutes. This is
Really?
10 minutes of interaction he was with the gorilla. And I get at one point I read that he took him up a tree or something, but the footage this is about all the footage I was
Yeah.
really able to
Wow.
get our hands on. But
So, the question I'm getting is, Rodney, how do you feel about this gorilla and the kid thing? Well, I've got to go with they made the right call. This is the only call they could have made. Had it been your child, let's take away, the child getting away from the mother. She should have been watching. Let's not look at the shouldas. Let's look at the facts. The fact is we got a 800-pound gorilla with a kid by the leg, not knowing what is going through his mind. Absolutely, you can speculate all you want on what the gorilla was doing or what he was going to do, but the fact is human life, fortunately for us, overrides everything else. Whales, zebras, rabbits.
yeah, rightfully so.
If we had a dangerous rabbit, we'd have to shoot it too.
Well, what I didn't realize, or I didn't put together until I saw it on the news clip at Cincinnati Zoo, which is where this was at, is Jack Hanna's zoo.
Right, exactly.
And so I saw him on a talk show, and I
And
thought,
he even-
he was.
I mean, obviously he was, not happy about it, but even he said that, things happen. When things go wrong, you got to make the best decision as quick as you can. And
Yeah.
he even said the right call was made.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Regardless of, and I did some research. People were saying, well, that's like one of the last, I don't know, silverback. I don't know what he was. Just a rare gorilla. Just so you know that no animal has ever come back from extinction from being raised in a cage. We have introduced
Oh, really?
wildlife that was low on counts. We got a phone call coming in.
Do we?
Is the phone ringing?
I don't know, Rodney. I just work here.
I've got something going on here.
Let's see.
Okay. No phone call?
Was it
Okay.
me? Was it?
No, I see the call coming in. I didn't know if it was coming in on the line.
I didn't get nothing.
So-
no red alerts or anything.
So, we've never. I mean, we've had, 30 or 40 animals in the wild, and then we raised 50, 60 animals in captivity, and then released them. We've never taken an animal that was one of or to a pair,
Right.
and then released them successfully to not be extinct. It's
Yeah.
never happened.
Yeah.
And this is that case. We may have only killed, one of few. It's not like he's going back to the wild.
I mean,
Does that make sense?
yeah, and something like that. How that thing could have ended in a split second.
Absolutely. They made the right call. So, the question comes to me, Rodney, do you think they made the right call? Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely.
This conversation has nothing to do with wildlife management or hunting or outdoorsmanship or anything like that.
No,
this is a total
saving
separate entity.
human life, and
Yeah.
you have to make that call. Those, zoos have those rifles
Yeah.
on there for a reason.
for sure.
Just, lions, tigers, and bears. Oh, my.
Just got this in. I think Gary just sent this to us. A body was found Tuesday in the mouth of a gator in Lakeland.
Oh, really? How
Please,
come I've not been tagged on that one?
Found Tuesday. That would be today.
Today?
This is real time, folks. The body, which belonged to a male, has not been identified according to the Lakeland Police Department.
It happened a couple weeks ago. They found a body in the Everglades. Pretty much eaten up by alligators, but they speculated it was not killed by the alligators, that it was actually, I got that call.
Yeah, police arrived and confirmed the gator had a body.
Wow.
An animal let the body go and swam away, the police said.
Dying to know what happened there.
It's been removed from the water. The state is attempting to trap the gator.
Oh, there you have it.
So
that's hot off the press right there. So that's today.
Lake Hunter, yeah.
Lake Hunter.
Yeah, YouTube video here, but I can't really pull that up.
Oh, it was through Rodney Rogers Outdoors.
So.
Yeah, that call did come in. I just got the message.
Try it again.
Call back, Hector. Hector, let's see. It's me, Hector. I was watching the show. I had to call in real quick, letting you know that I sent another video you probably haven't seen. The closer footage of the gator.
Oh, I said Gary. Randy set that in. Sorry. How rude of me to interrupt. That was Randy.
How rude.
Sorry, Randy.
Hector, yeah, okay. If you want, call back. He sent in another video. Basically, it's a closer video
Oh, really?
of the alligator, like a closer footage.
Oh, I saw that one.
Oh, yeah, I see it. Okay.
Yeah, I actually saw that one, and quite honestly, I had some YouTube reservations as far as copyright information on that particular video.
Oh,
so
I got you.
I stayed away from putting that
Pulling it
on
up
our
on ours.
broadcast.
Okay,
so
I got. Yeah, you can really see it up close too.
Took the high road since we're diving
Right
into some
on.
new ground here.
Thank you, Hector.
Yes,
I don't know
thank you,
why
Hector.
the call didn't come in on our line. Thank you, brother. But I'm gonna watch that. It's real close. So
Did you know?
nope. What you're gonna tell me?
No, that rabbits like licorice.
No, I
Yeah.
did not know that. Can I bait rabbits with licorice?
If
Tie
it's
it to
worth
my
a
ankles
try.
and then go rabbit. What
I
about
know.
squirrels? Do they like?
I don't know. Isn't that weird that licorice is a
Yeah.
maybe because
How
of a
did you
certain
find that
plant
out,
or
Mike?
something. I
You
don't know.
just-
Did you know
Plundering around the rabbit?
the
Facts.
rabbit internet?
Rabbit?
Yeah. Did you know
Mm-hmm.
that reindeer like bananas?
No, I did not know. I could probably speculate that one quicker than I could the licorice and the rabbits deal.
I do enjoy those real or fake conversations.
Yes.
And so I was digging through the internet
Okay.
web
Uh-oh.
outdoor thing
I got you.
and pulled up a few, and I thought, let's have some fun with this, Rodney.
I like this, Mike.
Right?
Let's do it.
Would you like to have some fun with
I
this?
would love to have some fun with this.
All right, let's have some fun with this whole internet is it real
Is
type
it
of
real?
thing.
I like it already. Uh-oh. YouTube. Okay, gotcha. 6-foot jackalope. 2-headed shark. Nice.
Okay, so here we go. We're going to pop some up here on the screen.
Gotcha.
Rodney, okay?
Yes.
Now, the jackalope was, in my opinion, one of the original ones.
Yeah, I think the jackalope.
I remember when I was a kid,
Yeah.
because I used to live in Colorado, and the jackalope was, people were starting to mount them and
It was
do
the
mounts
deal.
with them and
Yes.
everything. So the jackalope kind of, all these conversations take me back to the jackalope
Right.
and the 3 that I owned when I was a child.
Right.
So,
The 3 baby jackalopes.
so if you'll watch the screen up there, Rodney, we're going
I
to pop
got it.
some up, and you just pop them out, okay?
Fake or real?
Fake or real,
I got you.
okay?
I got you. It's real.
Now, we've seen this before.
Yes.
There's a couple in here that are going to be repeats, but
Okay. And it's real, but you see the kid, he's actually standing 10 feet behind this alligator to make it actually look bigger.
it's a perspective thing.
Perspective thing. Yeah, we've definitely talked that is a real and is huge.
Have you seen this picture?
have seen
and
this
similar
picture.
pictures to this.
Yeah. I mean, real? I mean, I guess that could happen. Well, I mean, I'd say that was real. My guess, my show. Oh, oh, totally real. This is
It's got to be right.
got to be real.
Okay.
Absolutely. Or fake. Well, hey, you know, you got to accept a skiing squirrel.
Somebody's interrupting our game show.
Hold on. Keep going. Keep going. Let's see.
All right. What do you think about this one?
Same squirrel?
Oh, yeah. You never answered the question. Is it real or fake?
Oh, it's real.
They do this,
Totally
right? I
real,
think these
yeah.
guys tour around and do a,
Yes.
do a circuit.
Oh, the grillephant.
Yeah. The grillephant, right?
Yeah, yeah. They're Ellarilla. They're Ellarilla.
Right.
It's
Our friend the raccoon.
this one. Not only did I prove this fake, Mike, I diagrammed it, circled it, you know, did all the things I could to call this guy out. Oh, the roost. How do you say? Trino? Chicken rhino?
I think we're having named that chicken rhino
Yeah.
contest.
I'm going to go with fake on this
Okay.
one. Oh, yeah. Hamster, 154. Yeah, total
I think
real.
he actually tours with the squirrel.
Guinea pig. Yes.
Guinea
it's
pig,
a
yeah.
guinea pig. Yeah, I'm going to go with fake. That's fake.
Big old squid.
Yeah,
Big
that-
old squid, like over in one of those.
Yeah, 50-foot squid is common.
This is very Loch Ness Monster
Yeah,
here.
this is total fake right
Okay.
there. This is a tight one. This is the great white
I thought
shark.
I pushed the limits a little bit here.
You might have overdone it here. I
The
think
shark goal.
This,
What about? Yeah.
this one's the mascara around it. I'm thinking the teeth gave this one away. I'm gonna go fake on this one.
Really?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Not sure a chameleon has that kind of teeth. Now,
About the. You seem a little reluctant, Rodney.
there's
Oh,
a
wait a minute.
cartoon.
You know, there's some similarities here between those last pictures, and I'm not really sure what. Oh, there it is.
Oh, there.
Yeah, Mr. Yeah.
Oh, I
There's
got
a similarity between. Okay. Between all of those guys. Okay, here we go.
Nice.
How about the platypus lab?
Labopoulos?
Labopoulos.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Platypus. Yeah, that's. I'm gonna go fake.
All right. How about this one?
Oh, totally real.
Yeah. Yeah. This one's still up in the air, I think.
This, you know, his hair actually has a separate identity. That's like another animal in itself. It's like a whole
Well,
deal.
it's probably an advantage for him, though, right?
Exactly.
All right. This is the seal. Have you seen this one? This thing is like the new. It's everywhere.
No, I've not seen the seal. I'm gonna go fake on the seal.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Total. Now those are Florida mosquitoes. Those are total real. This guy I've seen and been bit by this guy. What?
I don't know if that's real, but if it is, we gotta get one.
We gotta catch one of those. That's the old bulldog tortosaurus.
Now we're just getting silly.
I think this might be a fake one here. Dolphins can't jump that high.
Okay, let's
No
bring
way.
it back around a little bit. How about the Rodney rat? The Rodney rat? No?
I'm not buying the Rodney rat.
Why?
That is totally not buying this one at all.
Do you see some similarities
I
there?
think there's some shenanigans here, Mike. I'm
Yeah,
telling
I
you
don't
right now. Total shenanigans.
Rodney. All right.
So,
It's fun while it lasted.
all right. Well,
All right, that'll should wrap up our show for the evening, folks.
I quit. I quit. I think the
Sorry.
dolphin jumping that high is absolute bogus.
Do you remember the the Rodney rat?
I remember the Rodney. It was like 6 months ago you pulled that up. Sorry, caller. Call back one more.
Try it again.
I apologize about that.
We were indecent. We couldn't answer the door.
Yeah, couldn't answer the door.
What else you got, Rodney?
So, Mike, where are we at? You got news, questions? Do you got anything you want to jump in? Because
You like them questions, don't you, Rodney?
I do. If you got them. If not, we can move
Questions.
on. I know.
You want to do some questions? Let's do some questions,
Let's
Rodney.
do it. I
Let's
like
do
'em.
some questions. We got
You
questions.
got mail.
Whoa, yes, wait a minute, Mr. Postman.
Send me an email with all the details.
Another freaking email. Another freaking email song. Mail time.
The mail's here.
Yeah, talk fly.
right, hold you tight, get you there by daylight, do you right overnight mail.
That's what I'm talking right there.
All right, Rodney, Danny.
Danny, come
Lake
on,
Wales, Florida says, I'm confused on gear ratios. We spoke about this a couple
Yes,
weeks
we
ago, I
did.
believe, maybe
Yes, we
3
did.
weeks ago. I'm confused on gear ratios for the best way to not wear myself out.
That is a very valid question. Don't look at the gear ratio. If you do, pick your reel. What I mean is bait caster and or spin caster, and then go with a 5 and above. That's the best way to do it, and you won't wear yourself out. So anything 5 or below is you gotta really work it really hard.
Is it similar to, say, riding a 10-speed or
Exactly.
a 21 speed? If I'm in first or second gear, got to pedal a lot faster.
That's exactly right.
And on the higher gears,
Then
9
you're
and
slower
10,
and you're gaining more ground.
Okay.
Every stroke of the pedal gets you a little bit farther down the road.
so
That's
it depends
exactly
on the
right.
terrain and what you're pulling in.
Yep.
But so the 5, you're saying 5 or lower, 5 or higher?
5 or higher. So 5, 6, 7 gear ratio. You're for every crank, you're reeling your line in a lot faster and farther.
Okay.
So you're working a lot less. So 5 or above, that's where you want to go. That keeps it simple. Don't try to sort out what you're fishing with or
Sure.
what rod you're putting it on. Just 5 or above, and then you'll be safe to go with that one.
Okay. Next question comes from Digital Water, at Digital Water. Are there lures that are less likely to snag weeds?
Yes, there are. There's tons of lures that are actually spinner baits are real good for not snagging weeds. Buzz baits are real good, even though their hook is in the wide open. They're actually curved in a sense that when you pull them through the weeds, they're not apt to get caught on the weeds. So you got weedless soft baits that are that way. Crank baits, believe it or not, you can snatch them through weeds and not get stuck a lot. So there's a ton of weeds, and then there's weedless lures. You can rig your soft baits up to actually be weedless, where they won't catch the weeds at all. Some of the things you can do on soft baits is spray it with scent, with the oily scent, and that helps come across the lily pads.
Oh, interesting.
To keep
Okay.
from getting stuck on the lily pad. Sometimes your worm gets stuck on the lily pad, just like it being hooked on it.
Yeah.
Just because it's stuck to it. So, scents, the spray oily scents can help you a lot. So yeah, definitely look out there for and fish in the weeds. That's the key. Get in the weeds.
You have to, right?
Yeah,
You have to figure that out.
Yeah,
Because that's where they're at.
exactly right. Cover. That's where you want to be. You want to be in that cover.
Okay. Here's one from Ricardo, Brooksville, Florida. Says, does freezing cut bait effectiveness, cut bait affect its what?
Does freezing cut bait affect its attractiveness to fish?
Hey, Rodney, why don't you read this one?
It's
Do you mind?
actually a great question. It's a great question. Here's why. Because I fish with a lot of frozen bait offshore. And here's what happens. Not necessarily in scent, but it does in action. If I take bait out today and I thaw it out and I don't fish with it all and I put it back in the freezer, I've only got about one more time with that. If I do it again, then the bait gets real mushy, and then it does what we call blow out. It kind of just blows. The bait just falls apart.
Okay.
So yes, it does lose its attractiveness. You can only freeze it. I go on an average of twice. A good way to keep your bait longer is when you refreeze it, put table salt, a ton of table salt in there, and that'll hold the skin together a lot longer. So some fishermen do it right away. I don't think it affects it right away. Some do. It's just personal preference. So before you refreeze it, dump a bunch of table salt in there, and a lot of times you're in good shape.
Okay.
But that was a great question.
So it's
Ricardo.
it's cut bait, not cut bait.
Yeah, it's cut bait.
It's freezing cut bait.
Cut bait.
Because that made no sense.
Yeah. Does freezing, cut bait is the word. So no.
Good questions.
Yeah,
really
good.
good
I
questions.
like that question. It's a very good question. So voila.
Rods and reels. What do you want to talk about now?
So
We got
you
more
know
stuff.
what?
Yeah.
We've been talking about reels. We've been talking about line. We've been talking about this. So I thought tonight we'd just tack that off and
Okay.
and a lot of questions have come in. What rod do I use? What's the I've got a spinnerbait rod, a worm rod. What's it mean? What's heavy tip, light tip, and all that mean? So I just
It's got to be one of the most common questions you get. I would think.
It
That
is.
and what are
Next-
you fishing with? I mean,
Next to the gear ratio, exactly.
gear ratios
Yeah.
pop. You get that?
I get a lot because people just don't. Well, I don't know what to fish with. I don't know what this means when I.
I actually think bait would be the first one.
Well, actually,
What,
yeah.
what are you fishing
it,
with?
it would be the first. Yeah,
And
the
then-
bait would be the
And
first.
what kind of rod do I want or something?
Exactly. So if you look up, I'm going to show you that picture. If you look up, the audience can't see it, but you can. So we got different kind of rods. We got what they call the fast action rod, a medium action, a medium slow, a medium fast. So there's 2 or 3 different rod types. Slow action, basically what it talks about is the spine of the rod. So meaning a slow action would be, picture, let's say I just knocked everything, a 7-foot rod, and from the tip back, let's just say we go back, I don't know, a foot.
Okay.
And that's where the rod bends.
Okay.
The rest of the rod is real stiff. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
That means it's a fast action rod. That means it's a good rod for, fishing in cover, flipping. It's basically what they call a medium is a heavy. Also, it's fast action or heavy. A heavy rod meaning it'll set the hook.
Sure.
It's like fishing with a steel rod.
Yeah.
No bend in it whatsoever. And then we go medium heavy, which would also be medium action, which means that that bending part will actually move down the spine just a little bit, so we'll get a little more action down the rod itself. So it's good for spinner baits, they crankbaits and stuff like that. It's kind of
Okay. Yeah.
it's kind of a different action rod. Then we have what's called a slow action. So that'll actually move almost to the handle of the rod. So pretty much the whole rod is fishing very slow. We use that for doing light fishing. If we want to fish for bluegills and speck and stuff like that, we will use a slow action rod. So we don't want to rip their lips out because we'll actually pull the hook right out of their face.
Okay.
So, and you can also use that for different lures, real light lures, because you can't cast a light lure with a heavy rod. I don't want to
No, that
dump
makes
too
sense.
much too fast. So we'll use those light lures, the light crankbaits. Now we can still catch fish with these, but that's where it says spinnerbait rod or jig rod or crankbait rod. And the reason they have those sorted out like that, because if you put a crankbait or a small bait on a heavy rod, when you set that hook, you actually rip your hook right out of the fish because the hook set is so hard that it literally rips it out. So you just kind of...
Not much finesse there.
No, there's
brooding it.
There's zero finesse, and you're fishing with a bait that needs that finesse. So that's why most of the pros, you see them, man, they always catch fish. Well, they always catch fish because they raise their odds with the line, with the bait, with the rod, with the reel.
Yep.
So all their odds are raised a little bit by each thing that they do. So when they match everything, the line, thin line, like let's just say we're fishing with a slow action rod. It's a very light rod. So we'll put 8-pound line on it, very thin line.
Sure.
8-pound fluorocarbon. Excuse me. And then we'll put a real light bait on it. So that's a finesse rod. So it's used for wintertime or summertime when fish just aren't very active. And, we'll fish during that time. And then when we set the hook, we set it according to the bait that we're using. Now, if we're heat of the summertime, we're flipping heavy cover, we want that fast action rod. We want that thing to just...
Sure.
We want 50-pound test line on it. We want big, fat hooks. We want everything it takes to pull that fish out of that cover. And that fast action rod is what's going to do it. And you'll see it'll say flipping rod, and it don't mean this is my flipping rod. No, it don't mean that. It means just that. It is actually a flipping rod. So it's very stiff, and it's designed just to flip heavy lures in heavy cover and pull out heavy fish. Is that what we're making?
Yeah, and I actually would have thought flipping rod would have been something a little more lighter and delicate.
Exactly, and it's not. It just means that it's designed for hossing those fish out. It's a bulldozer.
Okay.
Now, they have fast action. They have medium fast action. So the key is that all you need to understand is the fast, medium, and slow. Now you're going to find the ones that say medium fast, or just know that it's.
But get the basics. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a little less than what the medium heavy is. it just goes down in increments.
Yep.
It's just like anything. You're going to find a rod maker that's going to make 21 different,
Yeah.
but it's pretty much the same rod. They may say, well, it's a fast action, medium light. That
Well, and we've talked about it before. As you get more experienced and you learn the nuances between, a fast, medium, slow, and then in between, you'll start graduating to feel those differences.
Exactly.
I would imagine, right? I mean, with everything.
That's exactly right. And this is where the experience comes from. Learning these little bitty things, these little nuggets of information that go in our mental tackle box.
Yeah.
So
as a beginner, don't worry about those things now because it won't mean a difference. It won't make a difference to you.
not gonna
Anyways.
make a difference
You
to
won't feel
you.
it. You won't see it. You
yeah.
won't
Yeah, it's all the things that we're talking about
Yeah.
added together.
progress to that, and then it'll make a difference.
Right.
for you.
Once you reach a level of, okay, I want to get, it's like golf. Once I get a little more serious, then I can put, my
Sure.
cranking reel,
Exactly.
my 7 to
Yep.
5 ratio on my fast action rod with 50-pound Power Pro, braided line, and I can flip that cover.
Yep.
Not my 50-pound Power Pro on my soft, slow action rod, 5-foot rod, so, and length, length makes all the difference. You can get a fast action rod that's usually 7+ feet long. It allows you to get a long flip. You can get out there and
Yep.
get a flip. You're not going to use a 5/6 rod or a 6/6 rod for that flipping. You'll use those in tighter quarters. So,
And the number 5666.
5/6 means it's 5 foot 6 inches long.
Okay. Actually, the
6
distance.
is,
Okay.
Yeah, is the length of the rod from the
Okay.
butt to the tip.
Okay.
That's from the butt to the tip. A lot of people think it's from the reel to the tip, but it's not. It's end to end. It's the complete length of the whole rod.
Okay.
So now some of them they got them that you can just. I had one that was it was a 7'10" rod.
Wow.
And it actually slides down into the handle, to keep it nice
Okay.
and compact. I actually gave that. Hector needed a new rod.
Okay.
So I hooked him up with that 7'10" rod. It was a super nice rod, and he seems to like it. He had a special reel for it. So he paired it nicely. And what you'll find is when you pair that rod with the reel and that line, it makes all the difference in the world. It literally, when you're having all this trouble, I had our buddy Tucker, one of my buddies, Tucker from Popka. I talked him into going to Power Pro line, but he comes to me in a couple weeks later. He goes, man, I just wasted all this money. I said, what happened? He goes, well, I had, I put Power Pro line on my pole. Every time I cast, no matter what I did, I made 50 casts, and I kept backlashing it. Well, there's several reasons that can happen. One is the line is too thick for the rod and the reel. These things this is a smooth flow.
Yeah.
And I often forget that in my mind, I know those combinations. So maybe I think my right thing would be to do is a reel of this caliber should be on a rod of this caliber with line of this caliber. Is maybe the kits the method I should attack.
Sure.
Doing that.
Yeah.
Because he just couldn't get it to backlash. And when he told me what line he was using, it made sense. His line was literally too thick for the reel and rod combo. I don't know what his rod was, but I know that combination. I've been there. I've done that. And thought, man, what could this be? And all I did was change the rod. And then, it made all the difference in the world. I went from a fast, to a medium.
Right.
And it seemed a medium heavy, and it seemed to work perfect. It took all the backlashing out. So that's where the rod comes in. So if you find yourself backlashing on every cast, if you're a bait caster, don't think it's, that it's one thing or the other. It's a multitude of things. It could be your line is too thick, or your line is too thin, or your rod is not, it might be too heavy. A lot of people like those heavy
Sure.
rods, but sometimes they're just not practical for the combination that you're using, your reel and your line. So, even that's a new thing I'm springing on you. I don't think you've ever heard me talk in that fashion.
We have not.
We've talked lines and poles and lines and reels, but we never talked the three in succession. It's those three that make the perfect combo. And I can take a picture. I've got 30, 40 rods in my house right now that just don't go with my reels. They just don't. I just got them. I've tried them on these, and they just don't work. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now I do have, when I'm fishing out of my canoe, I use my 5.6 and my 6.6 rods because it's a little
Size,
easier, a
yeah.
little shorter.
That makes sense.
And I still have the mediums and I still have the heavies and that stuff. But, I use them when I'm in my canoe. Not when I'm walking,
Sure.
then I use
Yeah.
my longer rods.
Yep.
Because it just makes more sense. They're easier to handle. If I'm flipping, I'm not standing up. I'm just sitting down so I can handle the 5.6 rod or the 6.6 rod a lot easier while I'm sitting down. And it can go for kayaks. It can go for, paddle boards. It can do, it works
Yeah,
in
sure.
any of those cases. So that's where those smaller, shorter rods come in handy for me. They might not for anybody else, but they do for me.
Does stature make a difference?
When you say stature, you mean
A tall person versus a short
actually,
person?
yeah, actually, it makes all the difference because there again, it's your arm length.
Yeah, because like golf clubs, I know that matters.
Yeah, exactly, and it makes a difference. So if you mix all those, because a taller guy is going to be able to handle a 7'10" rod better than me.
Sure. Yeah.
I mean, I've used them. I'm not comfortable with them. I just can't seem to get my groove with those rods. So it's a little long for me. Now, someone 6 foot tall might handle them perfectly. They've got a little more arm length, a little more reach. They've got ground to,
sure. Yep.
cast clearance. Where mine, I hit the ground when I
Yeah.
try to spin it out there. So, not to confuse anybody, but these are the little nuggets that need to go in your mental tackle box and help a lot. So,
Excuse me, Rodney.
Oh, go ahead.
I've got to take a call real quick.
take
if you don't
this
mind.
call, my man. It's Rodney Rogers Outdoors. Who are we speaking with?
What's up, Rodney? It's Hector.
Hector, how
Mike?
are you, brother?
Hey, buddy.
All right. Glad Mike made it okay.
Yes, he is alive and well. So we got your video. Okay, so yeah, that was a lot closer, should I say?
The other one of the gator.
Yeah. That was before he got to the golf course, I believe, right?
Yeah, I think so too. It looked like he was heading towards. You could see the water better in that one, I think.
I've not seen that one.
And
So
the guy actually drove even closer to the gator in the golf cart
Oh, really?
at the end.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't see it that far. I saw him just kind of walking between the trees. But that was the first one that made me realize this might be real because first of all, you're looking for another angle. Let me see more footage of it. Because what we haven't seen yet, I don't think, is there was a guy in the first video taking video.
video. Oh, so we haven't seen
where's
his
his at?
video. I see
And
what
they
you're
did
saying.
they did
that's-
publish his
I was
name,
looking
but
for that too.
yeah, where's his at?
Yeah, exactly.
Just,
Because that guy in the frame with the alligator makes it look.
yeah.
It kind of gives you a little perspective.
Well,
and it
on
makes-
the audio, the guy who shot the video we're looking at says, get in the picture so we can see perspective.
Oh, does
He's
it?
actually,
Okay.
I actually think he's actually saying get closer to him, and then ride him, pet him,
Pet him or
put
something.
your arm around him.
I would have to, Mike. I would have to get really, really close to that alligator.
But yeah,
So-
so that second video you got there, Hector, was I think the first thing that made me go, maybe this is because the fact of the matter is we want to believe these things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the rhinoceros chicken, it's a little far fetched.
Might be a
But
little out
but
there.
large gators and Loch Ness monsters and I know they're not the same thing, but they all blend into the same kind of.
So while I have you on the line, that 7'10" rod you got that I gave you, how are you liking that?
That's like it's pretty good. And
Okay.
I actually got me another rod.
Okay.
It's medium heavy,
Okay. Medium heavy. That's
I believe. Yeah. I actually bought it real cheap. It was on sale. I think the price, somebody mispriced it, so I bought it.
hey, I've done
Snag
that.
it,
a
yeah,
million times.
get it.
I've done it a million times. So
Well, and Hector doesn't have to answer this question, but I mean, I was going to ask when you talk about this thing, you have to talk about price. Because that's the other question, especially as a beginner like myself. What am I going to pay for a rod of decent? I don't ever want to buy cheap.
yeah,
I don't need professional end gear.
in most
but a
cases,
decent-
you can get them for $100 or less,
Okay.
and I mean in that $50 to $100 range.
A decent rod.
A very decent
Okay.
rod. I mean,
You could actually get combos too for a decent price,
Absolutely.
like $60-$70.
Yeah, I think that's about what we paid for ours when you went shopping
Yeah.
with Kim. Is somewhere in that
exactly.
$60,
Yeah, it was like
$80 range
yeah,
for a
70
combo.
bucks. Yeah, something like that. Definitely. So,
Yeah, I actually got the Abu Garcia, the black one you see in the videos.
oh
That
yes,
one
yes,
was
yes.
actually $60 I paid for.
Yeah.
And it was like what, $15 more than the rod I had, the one I broke.
Right.
What, twice?
Yeah, exactly.
So I went with that. And that one actually is me.
Picking was it pilot error, so to speak?
No, I heard you guys about to say something. Go
Oh,
ahead.
no, I'm sorry. So, yeah. So
No, I just said that medium. Go ahead.
No, I give up. You
Hey,
go.
hey, Hector, I'm going to kill Rodney's mic. It's all you, buddy. Go ahead.
No, I'm not. I just letting you guys know it was a medium, the combo that I bought.
So those longer rods are actually, you just got to find the reel that works on those rods. You know what I mean? I'm not used to them yet, and I didn't know if Hector would be able to get used to them really quick. You just got to find that right combo.
Yeah, I paid what $24 with tax for and it was a 7-foot medium heavy. So
absolutely,
I had to get it. You can't say no to that price.
No.
Hector, do you have like one of each? You have a heavy, medium, and a light? Do you have the spectrum, the gamut of the ranges, or you kind of stick with middle and heavy?
I tend to stick with medium and medium heavy, and then now I'm fixing to get a heavy action rod. Actually, from I was talking to Alan. Rodney, you should know him.
Oh, from McCain.
I actually met him through you, right?
Yes.
Yeah. He's saying that Vixen, is that the name of the rod he used?
Oh, yes, it's Vixen. That's what it is.
Yeah, I'm fixing to get one of those because I know the bass, like what you said, they're slowing down a lot.
Yeah.
So they're under lily pads and stuff like that. So I'm going to need a heavy action rod to pull them out of there because I already lost 3 or 4 bass in the lily pads.
Right. And that's the key. This is the time of the year when they start to slow down. Their strike zone goes way down. You got to fish harder. You got to fish tighter. You got to make 20 casts to the same stump, kind of thing.
Yeah. Actually, did you see that picture of that gorgeous bass that I caught?
Absolutely. Gorgeous fish.
She was, oh, man. And actually, it was, remember I was telling you about that murky, dirty water?
Yeah. Yep.
And how much I hate it. And I was thinking about you when I got there. I was like, oh, man, this is murky. So I was like, I'm going to go ahead and do it. First cast, I caught her. And then it started pouring rain. I didn't want to let her go, but yeah.
Right on, man. Well, thanks for the call, my brother, and thanks for the video.
Yeah,
I'm going to look
problem.
at that, man.
All right.
All right, brother. Well, stay safe out there.
All right. You too.
All right, buddy. See. Now, Hector's a clear water fishing guy. You know what I mean? He likes that clear water.
Yeah.
And sometimes you have to get that confidence built in that murky water. I love murky water because they don't see my line. My catch rate in murky water is twice what it is.
You use it to your advantage.
Yeah, I use it to my advantage. I can use different baits. I can use, cause, there's things you got to do. Noisy, scent if you got it, and all this stuff in murky water, it just seems to work better. So clear water, they can see your line. They know something's up. Yeah. I mean, you can still, catch them. Yeah. But the bigger ones seem to be in murky water, so that's my favorite. So I want Hector to build that confidence of that murky water because I know once he does, then he won't shy away from those ponds that are murky. And I think he's kind of steering away from the murky ones, thinking, oh man, it's just that confidence. Well, once you get your confidence built up in that, then voila. So, but yeah, so that's you heard him. He's. Hector's picked up on what rods work for him. And if you fish and you look at your rods and you pay attention to what you're doing and you're missing a lot of fish, a lot of times you're fishing with a slow action rod and you don't have that spine to set the hook. So when you set the hook, your rod kind of goes like this immediately. Yeah. Where the stiff ones will go straight up and then bend.
That's kind of, again, that's adding some of that finesse or the gentleness into the, rather than just brute forcing it out of their mouth.
That's exactly right. It's fishing with a broomstick or a rubber band.
Yeah.
So one of the two ways.
Somewhere in the middle is probably
somewhere in the middle is where you want to be. You know. So I do got heavy rods that I love to fish, and I switch my rods according to what I know I'm going to do in my head.
Yeah.
I normally carry 2 rods, one heavy and then one medium, and that's how and they're both 7 foot. So that's usually how I roll. That's how I roll, Mike Coy.
Roll.
Woo! So we got the rods out of the way. So that's the end. We'll call that the end of our fishing rod series. How's that sound?
All right, Rod.
All right, Rod. Get it?
Yeah.
I see what you did there.
Quick. I was quick and quite clever.
That was right on. So
we're about out of time, my friend. Again.
What you got? I see you.
No, I'm good.
You sure?
Yeah,
I see you about to
I'm
poke on
good. You know what? No, I like tapping on things. This is not a touchscreen though, and that would be very nice if it was.
Oh yeah, it was. So okay, so what do we got coming up, man? I'm getting tons of calls on this concealed weapons class. When we did it the first time, we couldn't get enough people to commit to the class. So here's what we'll do, and I'm going to throw this out there, and this is what we'll do. I'll take the payments and the reservations first, and then I'll go book the class. The guy said just come back whenever you're ready. So,
sure.
You know, and then this time I'll do it the other way around.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So what I'll do is we'll put something up to where we can come, take the payments, then I'll set the date, and everybody will need to be available on a Saturday.
That makes
that
sense.
date.
We'll get all the commitments first, and then
Exactly, and that kind of works out that way. You know, once I canceled the class, everybody's like, "Hey, when's that class?" I'm like, "It was supposed to be today." Well, I wanted to do it. Well, no, you didn't, because I've been promoting it for 3 weeks. You didn't.
Well, you can no doubt. We can fill up a class. We can fill up. You know, I mean,
we can.
A lot of.
We just got to fill it up first.
You're not alone out there, Rodney. There's a lot of people.
Yeah, a lot of people.
A lot of people want to hang out and enjoy this kind of outdoorsy thing.
We'll do the barbecue thing again. Yeah. They're ready, willing, and Porky's Barbecue. If you find yourself at Porky's Barbecue, just tell him Rodney sent you. He loves us to death, man. Yeah. You know, he'll get a kick out of that. So, if not, make a trip up there and just to tell him that. Have the banana pudding. Whew. Anyway.
You'll never be alone, by the way.
No?
No, because you got so many friends.
I do got so many friends. I love every one of them, too. Yeah. If I could hug every one, I would.
I know. Did you know?
No.
What? I mean, you'll never be lonely because
Uh-oh.
even, I think it's 159,000 people will die on the same day you do. So you'll
it's going to be a long way to the gate, right?
So if you're
I'm hoping.
Ever feeling lonely, just remember that.
Thank you for that.
159,000 people.
I am not so lonely now, Mike.
No. And did you know?
Nope. Tell me.
That the best person in your life is the first person that came to mind when I just said that phrase.
Nice.
So,
Mike, you're the best person in my life.
Go find that person, squeeze them, hug them.
Oh, man, you're getting squeezed. Just saying.
Make sure they know you love them, right?
Amen. Thank you guys for listening. This is our 1 hour vacation. I cannot thank you enough. You guys are why we do what we do, and we enjoy it.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Always a good time.
We can't wait to get out this summer with Mike's bum arms.
Bum arms.
Bum arms. We're going to switch all your stuff around on your next arm.
Hey, that's going to be interesting.
And as my mama said 18 million times.
Say it like you mean it.
And I pray I get to say it half as much. You kids get your butts outside and stay.